are worthy to be praised.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. If you can, will you stand with us?
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Father, we are so grateful. We are so thankful that you are allowing us to continue in your presence, giving you thanks. Thank you for how you just fill our hearts with so much peace, so much joy, so much love. Thank you. We are honored today that you have considered us as your very own. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity that you have allowed us. You said in your word, Jesus, that where there are 2 or 3 together in my name, you would grant us an audience. You would be here. So we acknowledge you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
We honor you. May your words continue to have first place in our life. May our hearts continue to be strengthened and enlightened. May the eyes of our understanding continue to be open. And let us see plainly. Let us see clearly as the Holy Spirit unveils you in this world. Thank you, Jesus. We give you praise. We give you glory. We give you honor. Before you see, tell the person next to you, say, it's good.
It's good.
Say, it's real good.
It's real good.
Be in the house of the Lord.
Be in the house of the Lord.
All right. I was about to ask you to tell somebody next to you, I need you. I don't know if y'all believe y'all need one another?
Yeah.
We do need one another. Amen. 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 We need one another. I don't believe God intended for us to function independently. That don't mean you utilize people just for your own good, for your own benefit. It just simply means he designed us not to function independent of him and of one another. Jesus made it very plain. He said, you are my disciples. He said, by this great love that has been dispensed in our heart. He said, by this shall the world know that you belong to me because you love one another. So love needs an object to be demonstrated as love. Amen. For God so loved the world. Then love needs to be generated by an act. He gave his only begotten Son. And then love needs a response. Whosoever believeth on him, then the benefit of that response shall have eternal life. Man, that's love at work. Can you see love at work?
Yes.
It's demonstrated in God giving. It's demonstrated in you if you're believing. It's demonstrated in you in being transformed. It's demonstrated in you in having. Love is at work in you constantly. I was for some, well, not for some reason, but we focus a lot as it relates to grace on God's forgiveness in this ministry. It is not, it doesn't make it true just because I say so, but I believe 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, talks about the things that are of a first importance. Talking about first, I mean at the top of the list. First importance is the death, burial, and the resurrection of Jesus. And that entails Jesus' death, burial, and his resurrection is a demonstration of love, forgiveness. Forgiveness is major with God. Now, sometimes we I'm not going to say as believers, but as people, sometimes you can hear people use this expression, I can forgive, but forgetting is another, well, what is forgiveness if you can't forget? Why would you want to know? Now, most people don't see this. You think you're holding people captive if you don't forgive them. But in reality, you've been held captive. Jesus demonstrated that when he said about people who he had forgiven. He gave one man a great debt that he owed him, and then this man ran across a person who owed him, and he wouldn't forgive him, and it was reported back to the master. He told him, he said, Master, this man who you forgave of the debt found somebody that owed him and chose not to forgive him. He said, where is he? He said, I want you to bind him and have him put in prison till his debt is paid. The only way to be free from that type of debt is to forgive. It's the only way to be free. Now, thank God that was during the law. But the Bible says this, that your forgiveness is no longer predicated on you forgiving somebody. The Bible says God forgave you. I'm talking about while you was yet a son, he was forgiving you. So it ain't predicated on you forgiving, but then the question would be, why would you want to not forgive somebody when you know God that forgave you? And the extent of that forgiveness is so great to God don't even want to be reminded of what he forgave you of. Man, I'm talking about, and you know what the Bible says? He didn't do that for you. He said, I done that for my own sake. That's the purpose you forgive people. It's for you. It ain't for them. It's for you. It's for your benefit. And so since forgiveness is so important, I'm talking about in the sight of God, he talks about if the whole world, I'm talking about as we know it today, I don't know why people think that there is no God. It's just still I'm still baffled by it. How can people live every day and believe that there is no God? To believe that the God who they worship, and I'm just going to use this for an example. You know, there are extremists, you know, most of the time we think about Muslims when we think about the extremists. But there are extreme people in all religions. Talking about extreme. I'm just going to say a few. Now, it don't mean that we are better, but we are forgiven. That's what makes us different. We're forgiven. In other words, we receive our forgiveness. Most people think there are many ways to God. Boy, they're going to be highly deceived when they realize when Jesus said, I'm the only way. Amen. And a man want to see the Father. He said, you got to come by me. Now you may say, well, who we think he is? You better find out who he is. You know, because that's not the question I ask, who we think he is. You better find out who he is. Because someday, boy, when God said, this is over with, and you got to stand before him, and he present Jesus to you, this is he. This is the Lamb right here. This is the only sacrifice that I accepted right here. Amen. And you find out. As you say, them Christians was right. No, we was righteous. Amen. We was made righteous. We wasn't made right. We was made righteous. We forfeit that. And man, that's going to be someday. We ought to, you know, that should be, if nothing else motivates us, we should be motivated by the fact that someday a gracious, loving, giving God going to have to take a seat of judgment one day. People don't want to see him like that. You don't want to see him in the judging mode because he's going to judge you based on the standards of Jesus. Not us. You know, God ain't judging people based on our standards. I'm talking about us. We believe in Jesus. Sometimes we think that makes us better than other people. No, he ain't going to judge us on our personal standards. He ain't going to judge other people on that. Jesus is the standard. When he says, I'm the way, I'm the only way. Not us. He's the way. Our job is to point people to that way. Amen. And so that should be what motivates us. Now, as believers, we really shouldn't need motivation. Now, if you say, let me tell you something. That woman who met Jesus at that well, she came up there with a pot of religion. And Jesus had a well of living water waiting on him. Amen. One thing about religion, I know one thing about it, it would not satisfy you. It keep you coming to that same well trying to get water out of it. That's so good. And it ain't going to never satisfy you. That's good. Religion never satisfies. That's why God hates legalism. It can never truly satisfy you. It keeps you, you know, how many of y'all ever owned a hamster? You know, hamsters got to be some of the craziest animals in the world. You put that little thing with, you know, and they just be on it. Maybe that's their shred there. Maybe that's their way of losing weight. I don't know. But they get up on that thing and they ain't going nowhere, man. And, you know, and maybe they think they is, but they ain't going nowhere. Religion ain't never going to shred. Just keep you think you're moving somewhere and you ain't going nowhere. And so, but people ought to be so, I'm talking about affected by us and our walk with the Lord. So this should be easy for us to say, Paul never told us to go witness. He said, go reconcile men back to God. And I've been thinking about that because we've been dealing with fullness. And I think we're gonna probably hit some streams of, you know, what it means, you know, what the fullness of God, what it consists of, and why would God say be reconciled? What are we actually being reconciled to? And I think that's important. Because when you spend time developing and renewing your mind to what you've been reconciled to, all of a sudden, you know, it starts to take effect in you and through you, and then it starts to affect people around you. You know, every now and then I like to think of some of Jesus' examples. When, like for instance, when he got in the boat with them to go to the other side of the storm. A storm broke out. They was rowing trying to get to the other side, and Jesus was asleep. Man, how in the world can he be asleep? I'm talking about, listen, we ain't talking about in no house where it's all boarded up and, you know, got all kind of storm shelter. This cat laying down in the boat. The Bible say the waves was about to fill up the boat, and he's asleep. Y'all, that kind of stuff don't, well, you know, that was Jesus. Oh, they in the boat with it, man. No. Take him out the boat. He come walking on water. I mean, there's a storm raging, and he come walking. Yes. And they so paranoid. They say, oh my goodness, that's a spirit. I mean, it's easy for you to start trying to figure that out. What is this? And the Bible said he act like he's going to walk right past him. Hey, that's something for you, friend. Hey, man, you ain't see us. Yeah, but y'all didn't recognize me, so why should I come get on the boat? And so finally they said, that's Jesus. He said, no, he said, it's I. Don't be afraid. Peter said, hey, because I know this is going to be recorded. If this you, bid me to come. Now, I don't know why the rest of them want to get out of that boat, but I guess they want to see if Peter could walk. Like some of y'all, you know, this is how y'all come up with that song, what he done for us. You better get yourself out of that boat, come up, what he done for us. He'll do for you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, you better get out of the boat then if you want to know he'll do it for you. You better get out of that boat. You know. So you base your faith on what God done for somebody else, he'll do for you.
Yeah, work it, man.
Well, according to the scripture, the Bible says without faith,
Impossible.
it's impossible. It's impossible. Now, them guys, you know, had a chance to get out of that boat because they could have all said, Lord, if it's you, bid us to come. Peter didn't ask for them. He said, bid me to come. Jesus said one word, come. And you know, like he should have gave him something. Now, Peter, watch your step when you step out the boat. No, he ain't told you nothing. He just said, come. Now, I'm going to tell you something about that statement. Did you know what the Bible says Jesus came walking to them on?
Yeah, in the waves.
The sea.
The sea.
What did Peter ask?
Water.
Bid me to what? Now, you know, most people don't see us as difference. Jesus was above the waves, and he wasn't affected by the wind. Peter asked to be, could he walk on the water? Well, the waves, which was being affected by the wind, made the water made the water be higher than Peter. And the Bible said when he saw the waves brewing, he began to sink. Well, that meant the water was already above it. If you read it now, the Bible said Jesus reached down to get it. That means they got to be below you if you got to reach down to them. He should have said, Lord, bid me to come to you on the sea. But he got what he asked for. Now, I'm going to say this again because we're going to talk about fullness. You know, whatever measure you choose to walk in, God will grant it. He prefer you to walk where he walk at. He prefer that. But he says, whatever measure you ask for, that's what you're going to receive. Don't never let your prayer life be limited by what you think God won't do or can't. Don't let your prayer be based on that. Now, I've been doing a lot of study on fullness. A lot of it. And I'm still, let me tell you something, it's like grace. It's never ending. It's never ending. And can you imagine? Can you imagine? The Bible says that we was reconciled to fullness. That's why Jesus said the works that I do, you're going to do greater. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to show you how the mind of the world is. We live right now in a world that when we see greatness and unless we see something exceed that, I'm going to give you an example. Right now, to our generation, let's say sports. We measure a person's greatness by the records that they set. Like, for instance, like a Michael Jordan. And this is what they say now. They say, man, Michael Jordan could be the greatest basketball player of all time. How in the world can you determine that and people still playing?
I agree.
So guess who they measure greatness by? Michael Jordan. He's the standard in the sports. Now someday they're going to say, I don't like Tom Brady, but he the man.
Yeah.
Then you got him 6 Super Bowls. You can't argue with that. I don't care how much you don't like him. He do this and to you. You can get mad at him all you want. When he do that to you, that just shuts you right down. And he wasn't that good, 6. And what he gonna tell you, 6? He said, go find somebody who did more than 6. You know, that's what they said about LeBron and Michael. He told Stephen A. 6. He said, all 6 of them was done in less than 7. He said, that's what you call it. This is what Michael said. This is what you call greatness. And so now we look at a guy like Stephen Curry, my man.
That's my man.
I hate to see him beat up on Damian like that, man, because I like Damian. Damian was a Christian too. I don't like to see 2 brothers that going in like that. You know, they interviewing Steph. Mama said, what is it like for you to have 2 sons on 2 different teams? Steph said they just blessed. We get to compete against one another. See, they ain't like that being a Christian. Sometimes the devil make it look like we compete against one another, but we ain't. The church don't compete against one another. Listen, I don't have to be as great as you. Why? Because you can't be great without me. So whatever you did great, I get credit for it too. That's what Jesus said. He said, without me, you can't do nothing. But he said this also, and I don't want to do that without you. Why? So whatever credit I got, you got. Whatever the credit you get, I got. And that's something for him to want to be. He said, so listen. He said, God, now watch this. This is what the greatest champion of all time said, you're going to do greater works than me. That's why I don't know why they're talking about, you know, Michael Jordan is the greatest. Hold up, man, we ain't through living. Now, he was a great player, and he done set the standards, but I'm telling you, boy, if they continue to play basketball, that standard going to have to change.
Yeah, eventually.
He said Wilt Chamberlain was the greatest of all time. He scored all the points. To a man by the name of Abdul Jabbar came along. He changed the whole game.
He did.
Listen. They said David was a giant killer until Jesus came along.
Amen.
They say Samson was the strongest man that ever be alive until Jesus came along. And that's something they say Solomon was the wisest man to ever live until Jesus came along. Didn't they say that?
That's what they said.
He even said it. He said, you say Solomon was the wisest man that ever lived. He said, but there's one greater than Solomon. Listen, and you try to imagine your wisdom against Solomon, and all of the wisdom lives on the inside of you. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Solomon only desired to see and to hear what's on the inside of you. You make light of your salvation. How in the world can believers make light of what they got on the inside of them? Yeah, I done start preaching myself happy. Man, let me tell you something, man. Jesus, I got the greatest of all time. Muhammad Ali just said it, but Jesus lived it.
Amen.
The greatest of all time. He's the only one who can say, what that song you song? Anybody, what the name of the song? Greater?
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater than you.
Nobody greater than you. And guess what now? Mind you, he is so great. He's willing to share his greatness with you.
Yes, thank you, Jesus.
He said, you're going to do greater works. Wait a minute, Lord. Is that going to make me greater than you? No, that's going to make you like me. But I'm willing to let you partake of my greatness so you can take greatness to another level. And yet, we kind of like, you know, we make light of that. We make light of it. So, don't make light of your forgiveness.
That's it.
Amen.
Don't make light of it. See, the only time we really talk about forgiveness is during Easter, or what we call fasting. We're doing that. No. You ought to talk about forgiveness. Meditate on that every day.
Amen.
Jesus said, to them who are forgiven much will love much. You can measure your love life by your forgiveness. That's how you measure your love life. How much has God forgiven me? Of all my sins, ain't no lie. All my sins. Well, how much do He love me with? With all His love. He didn't listen. I'm going to hit you with something. God didn't spare none of his love to redeem you. He didn't just give out 70% or 80%. No. He gave you the full plowing of his love. You said, Brother Gary, you got scripture for that. Now, you know when I make a statement like that, I just search the scripture. Well, see, most people think God gave a portion. No, he didn't give a portion of his love. No. He didn't give a portion of his peace. He didn't give a portion of his goodness. He gave it all. Now, if you want to determine your value, determine what he gave for you. Amen. That's how you determine your value. Lord, listen. No, Lord, was I worth that? Now, this is what he's going to say to you. To me, you was. And that's all that counts. So don't let nobody demean you. Don't let nobody put you down. Listen, if you can study your value by trying to just study his love. That's how you study your value. Study his love. You can study your value by studying his peace. Study it. You want to study his joy. How much joy he was willing to spend to get you. To get you right. Man, the devil made the worst mistake he could have ever made was to go in that garden, bond with Adam and Eve. That was the worst mistake he ever made. Now, see, listen, God was willing to let him just live in darkness. You can occupy that. Since you don't want to dwell in light with me, you can live in darkness. But man, he messed around and came into that garden and said, has God. Can I tell you something? God is all-knowing, but he was really surprised when Adam and Eve listened to him. You know, the Bible says that God don't get grieved over nothing because he don't make mistakes. But the Bible says in the 6th chapter of Genesis, it grieved him to his heart that he made man. Do y'all know the turmoil we cause God? I'm talking about somebody who came from dust. Grieved him in his heart. The only way God could eliminate that grief was to call him forward. He said, hey, man has become like one of us. Jesus said, watch your son. I can fix it. He said, let's get to it. Listen. This ain't no fly-by-night plan. God saw this in eternity past. He saw all of this. But he never thought that man would even consider it. He did never think it. Because he couldn't think it. God couldn't think that. But by him being all-knowing, God, watch yourself, God foresaw his own grief. And watch this, you want to know how much he loved you? And he still made you. Listen, who you know want to give birth to something, and you know, man, this ain't going to work out the way I designed it. And still made you. That's what love said, watch yourself. Love said, I can get rid of the fear. See, fear to us is grief to God. And the Bible says perfect love casts out all fear. Because why? Because he got rid of the grief. Amen. Listen, that's why, you don't have to be grieved. Now, you can choose to if you want to, because that's what freedom is. You remember what I told you about freedom? You ain't free from anything until you're free to do it. That's what freedom is. That's how God made Adam and Eve. They were free to make a choice. See, when God saved you from sin, he didn't save you to where you couldn't sin. That's why people don't understand grace. They think grace make you not want to sin. No, grace ain't designed to do that. Grace is designed to enable you to freely receive. Amen. Without any, I'm talking about, it allows you to stand before God unblamed, unaccused, holy. That's what grace does. Amen. Is you listening? That's what grace does. And most people think, well, if you keep talking about grace, listen, them babies talking. I'm listening. I don't want you to think I'm putting people out. Them babies talking. People who have been thoroughly trained in the words of righteousness, they don't talk like that. That's right. Not when you've been trained in the word of righteousness, you don't talk like that. Because you don't have a revelation of grace.
Amen.
Paul became so angry at it, you know, and what book was that when it says anybody who preached any other gospel, let him be, he put a double curse on it. Listen, he even went far enough to say, if an angel from heaven, now Paul, who you is? I'm a grace preacher. If an angel come and preach any other thing, let him be a truth. He didn't say a demon or a devil. He said an angel from heaven. God is serious about grace because he knows the power of grace.
Amen.
And yet, we as believers and the church at large seem to kind of make fun of it, because we can't see Jesus in the law. Jesus was the only one who could fulfill the law. But that was never God's plan. That was an alternate plan. Why? Because that's what mankind actually said. All that you say we would do. And so God said, I'm going to give you 10 rules. I'm just calling them 10 laws. If you understand that number 10, he says, I'm going to give you a sum total of everything I say. A sum total. And these 10 laws sums up everything I want from you. He said, just 10. It's going to sum up everything I want from you. They said, we can do it. He said, no. He said, these are the conditions. If you violate one, you're violating all of them. And they made a commitment to that. He said, Moses established it with blood. That means the only way out of this is that. How do you think God got out of that covenant? Jesus had to come and die. Amen. So y'all see, we think, listen, Jesus had to die because that's the only way God could get out of that covenant. This covenant here is better. He said, but the only way for me to get out of it with mankind is somebody got to die. That's the only way out of the covenant. That's the only way. See, our relationship with God is based on covenant. God cannot get out of this undeniable love. He can't get out of it. God stuck with me for eternity.
Amen.
Thank you, Jesus.
That's good.
Y'all ought to be glad of that. I'm forgiven for eternity. God, listen. The Bible says this in Romans the 8th chapter. We right here talking about how God's going to do it. The question you need to ask is how he cannot do it.
Amen.
Not how he going to do it. No, that's his problem. That ain't none of my problem. Lord, how you going to get me out of this? That ain't none of your problem, Gary. We try to make the problem that God got our problem. You ain't got no business concerning yourself with how God's going to do it. Just a question. Hey, God, I like to know how you're going to get out of not doing this. Hey. You know what God designed prayer for? For you to invite him in the impossible things. Yes. He said, call on me. Hey. When it get to be, now listen, we ought to call on him for everything, but we don't always do it because prayer is boring. I know it's boring, particularly when you got to pray by yourself. Let me give you an example. I enjoy being with my wife. Me and her can have a good. I don't need no crowd to enjoy my wife. Well, you really by yourself when you go into a restaurant and you don't know nobody in there. Who you think you with? You ain't with them. So to me, a restaurant, the only way a restaurant don't have to be a crowd for me, if the food ain't good, then I don't want to go in there. But if the food good, I can go in there by myself. That's right. Matter of fact, I like to be the first one in so I can be the first one to be served. That's right. I don't need a whole bunch of people in there where it's good food. I don't need to see a whole bunch of people. Now, I'm talking about me and my wife. Man, let me tell you something. I can handle that. I can't. So I ask you this question. Why you can't enjoy God by yourself? Now, I'm going to say something to y'all. I can tell whether or not you enjoy intimacy with God when you come here.
That's it.
I tell you what, if me and Sister Bingham were mad at each other right now, I bet you y'all know it. I bet you say, well, what was wrong with Sister Vicky? Y'all stop looking at me, start looking at her. But she ain't saying amen to that. She ain't got her Bible. And listen, that's just human nature. I'm talking about what people do. Now, a lot of preachers or pastors are measured by these things. But you don't think that's biblical? Jesus said it. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples. He said that you love one another. You don't think Jesus is being measured by us? See, y'all don't realize that Jesus is actually being measured by, I'm talking about even his goodness is being measured by us. He said, by this shall all men know me. Let me tell you, that's a great responsibility, but you know what? We ain't got to try to perform it. All we got to do is just allow him to be who we say he is in us. Amen. And so, I can tell when y'all spend time with God, when y'all get him. You say, why you say that? Because I got to tell y'all a whole bunch of jokes to get you to laugh. If y'all really enjoy it when you get him, man, we can get started right now. But like some of y'all looking up at the ceiling. Y'all gonna enjoy the Lord? Yes. Y'all enjoy the Lord? Yes. Huh? I should not ask y'all, should I? You know, when people enjoy the Lord, you shouldn't have to ask them to say praise the Lord, should you? You shouldn't have to ask them to say amen. And then I know some of y'all gonna say, Pastor, we listening. Let me tell you something. I can laugh and ain't nobody got to say that when I'm happy. Say, man, what you laughing about? Man, I just thought myself happy. That's what the Apostle Paul said. He said, I think myself happy. Y'all ever heard this song? When I think about the goodness of the Lord. Huh? And all he done for me? Well, I can dance all night. I can't even get y'all to dance 5 minutes. I can dance up. So undoubtedly y'all ain't thinking about the goodness of the Lord because y'all ain't doing no dancing, y'all ain't doing no shouting. I can shout all night. Is he really that good, y'all? Well, he ain't said, listen, I'm telling y'all, the Lord is good to me. This ain't just because I'm a pastor. I'm talking about he's good to me. I don't need you to try to make me laugh. I don't need you to do nothing for me to enjoy him. Nothing. I'm talking about what he is to me. And when it gets to me, when you get to understand what have I really been reconciled to, turn. Now this is always my foundational scripture, and then we're going over Colossians. Go again, 1 Corinthians, 5th chapter. 2 Corinthians, 5th chapter. And then we're going to jump in. We're going to jump in these next 30 minutes. We're going to jump right in. Right in. 2 Corinthians, 5th chapter. Then we're going down. We word people, ain't we? Yes. Ain't we word people? Yes. Y'all enjoy the word? Yes. Nothing but the word.
Nothing but the word.
And they say, I come to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And that's what they ask you when you get ready to go. You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I'm going to need his help, boy. Lazarus, come forward. Pastor, you calling us dead? No, I ain't calling y'all dead. In the 5th chapter of 2 Corinthians, there's a word that I'm going to look at in Colossians, but I want to read it here because this is a command. It's a commission to us. Paul made a statement. 2 Corinthians 5th chapter, he says, for the love of Christ constrained us, because we thus judge that if one died for all, then we're all dead. And that he died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves. Now that's one thing. You know, I've taught on that extensively. Living unto yourself. You don't want to live unto yourself. Listen, may I say something to you in reference to this? The reason you don't want to live to yourself, living to yourself ain't no fun, particularly when you become a believer. I'm in the 6th. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I was at the 14th verse. Now I'm at the 15th. It says, and that he therefore that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose again. Now he is instructing us. He said, don't live to yourself any longer. Now, do you know what living to yourself got you? Let's just forget about the sin part, okay? Because you are already shaping in iniquity and born in sin. That's a given. But do you know what living to yourself means? It means to isolate yourself from him. Now, as a believer, do you want to live isolated to God? You want to live on your own? Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. Do you know what that means to live under yourself? That's like two people shaking up. Ain't no real commitment. You know, even though you might be sharing the same house, and we live together, we plan like we married, because we share the same house, and they call it common law. May I suggest something? You ain't nothing common about that. Nothing holy about that. We think holiness is such a drag. It just means to live separated from. That's what holiness means. I've been separated from this. When God says, be holy for I'm holy, that means unto me. You know what that means? Live unto me. Don't live unto yourself. Don't live apart from me. Listen, you ain't capable of living a Christian life unto yourself. That's what make it performance. Now you got to try. You know what? It's so hard for me to read the Bible because you're living unto yourself. It's so hard for me to pray because you're living unto yourself. See, everything you struggle at is because you're living unto yourself. Jesus said this. Now watch this. He said, listen guys, this is a commitment I'm making to you. I ain't going to never leave you nor forsake you. How many of y'all believe that? I really, really believe that. Now watch the next question I'm going to ask y'all. How many of y'all talk to him every day? I don't talk about reading no Bible. I ain't talking about praying. I'm talking about talk to him. Now, don't make me ask you this. But why when I'm talking to y'all don't seem to be excited about it? Because that's what I'm talking about. You want to get my wife to laugh? You know, and smile, particularly when I was just baby, all you got to do is mention my name. Now, she still got memories of it right now. Then she said, oh, Lord. See, well, let me tell you something. She's thanking the Lord right now. Oh, Lord. See, she said that just then. I'm telling you, man. She said that just then. Oh, Lord. 34 years, she still said, oh, Lord. But listen, I'm just telling you, let's just be, simple with it. When you talk about somebody talk about somebody you love, they don't get your attention. Don't they? Particularly, they mess around, they be talking about something, they mess around and call the person name. We say, what was you talking about? Oh, you know who that is to me, don't you, child? Who? Yeah, that's my husband. He's such a nice person. And you just be bubbling up on the inside. Because that's yours. Hey, I'm talking about when you just start talking about somebody that, that all you got to do, if you don't believe it, start talking about somebody you don't like. And watch your reaction. Are you listening? So listen, I'm talking about somebody that in love with y'all. Amen. Ain't it? Yeah. So I ought to at least get a smile back from you. Shouldn't? If I told y'all he told me to give each one of y'all $1,000, I guarantee I'd get a smile off your face. Would it? Couldn't I? I'm going to use my language. Ain't no nine. Yes, sir. Because your love is sending you something. Oh, man. That's just like him. Listen, he said, don't live unto yourself. He said, I died for you. Live unto me. Now watch this. He says, but unto him which died for them and rose again. Wherefore henceforth know we no man after the flesh, yet flesh does not mean physical body here. Now I do have reference to knowing him after the flesh. It also represents a system, a certain system. Listen, most people don't even realize Jesus came, and watch this out. We always try to separate him from the law. Jesus came to fulfill the law. Why? It was his word. He was the only one. They couldn't keep it. The only one who could keep the Ten Commandments was the one who said it. He was the only one. Watch this out. And his heavenly Father was in a relationship with a nation of people who he couldn't really love the way he wanted to love them. He said, you got to get me out of this. Jesus said, I got it. He said, first I'm going to fulfill it, and then I'm going to bring it to naught. I'm going to end it. He said, I'm going to end it. This is why when Paul talks about a man and a woman being married, he said, if the husband died, he said, the woman is free. Well, God is now free to love us unconditionally. Amen. So y'all didn't even realize that God himself, now, he wasn't in the kind of bondage that we were in, but he was limited. Even it was said, and I think Psalm 105, it says, don't limit the Holy One. The nation of Israel could really limit God, but right now, can't nobody limit God when it gets to me. Not even me. I can't even limit God. The limits has been taken off. You listening? God can love you unconditionally without any requirements, without any restraints, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Amen. Now that's good news. Why? Because when the devil come and tell you, you got to do this, or when a preacher come and tell you, you got to do this, God said, I ain't got no conditions on that. I love you unconditionally. That means if I love you, I'm free to give you anything I want under the conditions of love. Amen. Listen, not your condition of love, on his condition of love. And so he says this, since I have freely given, you freely receive. Amen. 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 That's it. And we always try to put conditions. If you give, God gonna bless you. Big old condition. Watch this up. No believer should have to be told to come to church or to read your Bible or to pray. You listening? Now, you know, traditionally, this is how society thinks. You know, when a man and a woman get married, the woman's supposed to cook and clean. I don't know where we got the rules from. The only thing the Bible did say now, that the Bible says, it says older women teach younger women how to love their husbands and what? Chase housekeepers. Now, the Bible said that. Now, he wasn't putting that in as a rule, but see, since the order of God requires a man, listen, he says, I want you to love your wife the way I love the church, who gave himself for her. All right? In other words, Jesus was willing to give everything he had, watch this up, for us to not only be saved, I'm going to hit you with something, for us to be happy. Yes. 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 That's good. Amen. Hey, glory. He said, I want you to love your wife like that. Well, okay. I ain't got no restrictions on that. Now, notice he didn't say if she's a good wife. He didn't put no condition on it. He said, love your wife. Wives put conditions on them they gonna cook. Husband put conditions on them they gonna love. That ain't, watch this, that ain't godly. Now I ain't gonna say that's the devil. I'm just going to say it ain't God. I'm going to stay safe so y'all come back next time. No. He said, love unconditionally. Now, it's funny, he told the men to love the wives, but he told the older women to teach the wives how to love. Teach them how. You know what that said to me, women? I told y'all, man, God made y'all pretty so we can marry y'all, but he made y'all just a little dumb so y'all can marry us. Because you got to be, you don't believe it? Because you got to be taught how to love us. Now, y'all, I know that. That's in the Bible. That's in the Bible, y'all. So I don't know why. That's why I don't like these boys getting on to it. My mama, your mama, what? What? Your mama, what? I don't never hear about this. Say, where my dad at? So what you saying, brother? I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying what the Bible says. Jesus said, where my dad? He said, Father. Because Jesus he did have a mama. You see what he did with her. He said, hey, see about my mama. But when he got to Daddy, he said, Daddy! Didn't it? And that Bible? Ain't it? Amen. Stuff, who y'all call? You call Big Daddy. honey, I need you to take care of that. And that cat grow up thinking all he do is mama. Hold up, boy. Oh, you just came from your mama, but hey, I'm your daddy. I know it. I carried it for 9 months. I know it. But I had to take care of it for 18 years compared to 2. You want the 9 months or you want the 18 years? I know y'all don't like, I know, see, this ain't one of them kind of messages that really, but traditionally, I know about it traditionally, I know how it stands. And this ain't got nothing to do with mamas and daddies. I want you to understand something about Jesus. This is the picture he draws. A family is a precious thing. It is the greatest institution on the face of the earth, family. Particularly when it follows God's divine law. When it follows this man, when a husband loves his wife like Christ loved the church, and when a wife, that submit means don't mean that you are inferior to a man or to your husband. That submission does not mean that means comply to God's order. That's all he said, comply to my order. He said, well, it'll do you good. Everybody in here want good to be done to them. Don't you? Amen. Don't you? Now, good may not necessarily come from the person who from the wife, the husband looking for the wife to be good, or the wife. No. It may not come directly from that person who God is telling you to fall in line with. But listen, good is going to be done because God will get involved. When the order is disorder, he'll get involved. You don't believe it? Look at Abraham and Sarah. That was out of order when Sarah said that. Say, hey, take my maid. Abraham, I ain't never seen a man so willing. Say, okay. A woman got mad at Sarah, said, listen, I'm the one carrying this child. Sarah said, you better try to sit yourself down somewhere. That's why I always believe Sarah was a black woman. Because y'all know how to check. Man, black women know how to check people. I ain't never seen anybody check. Let me tell you something. Y'all know how to check people. So listen, 13 years later, God ain't said that for 13 years to Abraham. Finally, God showed up. And the Bible said Abraham was sitting in the tent door in the heat of the day. And you know what that meant, the heat of the day? It don't mean it was just naturally hot. Sarah and Abraham, you had to have some words. So Abraham saw him. Abraham was so glad to see God. The Bible says he ran at him. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Let me go get you something. He said, go ahead. Told Sarah, hey, get something to drink and some bread and stuff. I got some guests. Sarah didn't even bother to look out the tent though. has prepared the stuff. The Bible says Abraham went and told his servant, said, give me a good young tender calf. Sued him up good. He came back and he fed him. And so when the angels got through eating, he said, where's Sarah at? He said, she ain't there. He said, Sarah, your wife. He said, oh, wait a minute. Oh. He said, hold on now. He said, Lord, let it be Ishmael. He said, no, that was y'all doing. He said, I can't accept that. He said, now I bless him, but not with the promise. And it's funny how we try to get God to accept something that we done.
That's right.
You ain't got to do nothing to try to make a promise of God come to pass.
Amen. Amen.
That ought to bless you right there. He didn't ask for your assistance. All he did was ask for your cooperation. And you know what that means? Believe me when I say. That's all he asked you to do. Yeah, these circumstances may not always reflect his will, but believe you me. Believe this about God. God don't care nothing about circumstances when he says something, because he can't lie. And he really don't want you contending with circumstances. This is what Paul said about circumstances. He said, I know how to be content in all things. You know what content means? Content means I'm at peace. Not relying on any aid or depending upon anything outside of what God said. That's what content means. I ain't relying on nothing else outside of what God said. That's an easy term for contentment. He said, be content with whatever you got. In other words, don't rely on nothing else outside of what God said. That's the best way to be content. Lord, if you said it, I'm content with that. I don't care what the circumstance say, I'm content with what you said. Is you listening? Quit trying to make the promises of God work. You don't need to make them work. They don't need your aid. They don't need you trying to do nothing. Just be content with what he said. That's all God wants from you, is to be content with what he said. That's contentment. That's why people can't go to sleep. You sit there trying to figure out how you gonna make it work. First go find out what he said. Find out what he said. Okay, Lord, you said that. Okay, now I'm going to bed. Go get some rest. And watch him bring it to pass. I saw God was telling the nation of Israel when they got at that river to cross. When it was coming out of Egypt, he said, stand still and watch me work. He didn't tell him to go nowhere. He just told him to say, stand still and watch me work. You know what God did while he was making them cross? The Bible said he put that cloud behind the nation of Israel and it separated Israel from Egypt. In other words, I want y'all to go forward, but they can't come nowhere until I get y'all across. Once they got across, God removed the cloud. And them idiots, you know, I have to ask people, why in the world, well, see, the water stayed open. God was saying, I dare you to come. Y'all have heard that? I just dare you to do that. Well, see, this is when you choose to not live by faith. That look at the reverse order. The devil don't dare you to move, and God is saying, "Don't move." And the devil is saying, "I bet you won't move," and God is saying, "Don't move. Be content." And the devil is saying, well, if God done told you he gonna do it, ain't that happen wrong with you? God say, don't move. He said, just watch me. Be content. And so when you got saved, I know we was all used to doing things our way, you know, trying to make it work, you know. Watch this out. You ask God to give you a good job, right? Right?
Amen.
So you can do what? Okay, when you get through making good money, now what? More money. Now I want the more money. Lord, I need a raise. You told me I want a good job. I gave you a good job. Now you want money? You want a raise? I'm talking about, don't just see we asking God for stuff because we ain't content.
Right. That's true.
Right? Now, it ain't nothing wrong with you asking God for a good job, but you don't need to want a good job so you can make more money, or good money, whatever y'all, you know, a good job, good money. The Bible ain't nothing good with God, so I know you get a good job. we ain't content with God being good. That ain't enough, is it? Lord, I need a good job. Do you think God's going to give you a bad job? So you got to be specific. Lord, give me a good job. You say, okay. This is what you call a good job? Okay, now you got a good job. You ever notice you ain't content with a good job? You know what? That I'm tired of my boss man. Hold up, now you didn't ask me for a good boss man. You asked me for a good job. Now you don't like the boss man. You know what, Lord? This job don't pay enough. Now you don't make enough money. Why? Because when you got that good job, you ever know something about a good job? You ever notice how your needs increase? I'm going to be talking to the wrong bunch. You ever notice that you get a good job and then your needs increase, right? Yes. Now what you want? Now you done went from needed to needed. Amen. You just ain't content. What we say is, I'm a good God. You won't let him be a good God. So you ask him to give you things to substitute him.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
But you know what make you ask for that? Because you're living unto yourself. See, when you live unto him, I don't need to ask him for that. Number one, he says, I'm going to supply all of your needs if you just keep your attention on me. I'm going to take care of your needs. Now God says, since I got your needs, let me tell you something about mature Christians. Can I tell y'all about mature Christians? Mature Christians don't ask for what they need. Mature Christians ask for what they want. That just shifted your prayer life right there. If you still asking for what you need, you're a baby Christian. As you listening, mature Christians ask for what they want. Why? God already said. Now I'm talking about, see, mature Christians is Christians who understand the purpose of giving. I don't just give to be blessed. I understand that God wants me to give and he wants me to be cheerful in my giving. Why? He knows that my giving promotes his harvest. What you missing? My giving promotes his harvest. Didn't the Bible say Jesus is the Lord of the harvest? The harvest already exists. I ain't giving for God to create a harvest. God gave me seed because the harvest exists. You get it? That's the reason he gave me seed. Because the harvest exists. So I don't have to give to make a harvest come forth. I'm giving because the harvest exists. He said in Genesis, I always remember the Lord first mentioned, let every seed bear fruit of its own kind. So the kind existed before the seed. Come on, y'all. It existed before the seed. So when God gave me the seed, the kind already existed. You listen? So the Bible says in Corinthians, God gives seed to the who? Not to the harvester, to the sower. Why? It's a harvest awaiting you. You cause the harvest that you cannot see to come into an existence when you give. Now you understand when the Bible says it is more blessed. Give what? What? The receiving part is easy. The giving part is where we struggle. You notice nobody don't struggle with receiving? You don't believe it. All I got to do is take out $100 and say the first one. I guarantee you somebody coming up here. I'm talking about y'all with speed too, because he said he done said the first one. It's easy to receive. It's the giving part. Yeah, listen, the giving part should be easier than the receiving part. Why? Because the harvest existed before the seed. But see, when you live unto yourself, then you get caught up with, if you do this, God gonna do that. If you do this, God gonna do that. And God said, who telling y'all that? If you live unto me, you're gonna discover everything is already done. Okay. Listen, I say, when you live under him, you're going to discover everything is already done. I'm going to say it again. When you live unto him, you're going to discover everything is already done.
Hallelujah. Glory. Hallelujah.
Jesus said before you was ever born, it is finished.
Hallelujah.
God said it in Genesis, it is finished.
Glory. Hallelujah.
But there's something that's finished. You tell me what else needs to be done. Listen, the reason I had to be born was because God had a work that was finished to be received. So somebody needed to receive what God already finished. Your birth became necessary.
Amen.
You know, Brother Gary, I was born, I ain't had no daddy. And I was born illegitimate. No, your mama and your daddy was illegitimate, not you.
Amen.
I know illegitimate children.
Hallelujah. Glory.
But see, y'all see, that's hard beyond conceive. Now watch this. I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to tell you something. Who was Jesus' daddy? Huh? Was her and Joseph married when she had conceived birth? Well, how illegitimate can you be? Why do you think it was so hard for Joseph to say, hold up, you said you're pregnant and you don't know no man? No, girl, don't come telling me that. No. I ain't never heard of that. She said, I'm telling you, Joseph, I'm trying to tell you, God is the daddy of this child. I don't believe that, Mary. I don't believe that. You know, I ain't gonna even let them stone you. I'm just gonna put you away in a crazy house. Read it. He said he wanted to put her away silently. You know what silently means? I'm gonna put her in a place where nobody ain't gonna know about this him. Joseph was a well-known person in this community. He said, no, I ain't gonna tie myself over this. And finally, he got a visitation from heaven. Joseph, fear not to take Mary as your wife. For the thing, Bible didn't even call him, the thing which she carried is of God. That joker didn't waste no time. Said, come on, girl, let's get married. Let's go now. Don't tell me God won't work it out. All he wants you to do is to be content. He said, I got it. He said, I don't care what nobody say. I don't want the circumstances say. I got it. I'm going to handle it.
Hallelujah.
But Joseph get married. Can you imagine Jesus growing up? And Joseph having to look at that baby every day and say, man, I didn't fall for that baby. He couldn't even touch her while she was pregnant. And you don't tell me that wasn't something to deal with. I can't, hold up now, I would be able to do something. No, you got to wait till the child. I can't touch you. You can't touch me for 9 months. And I'm married to you. No, you can't touch me. Matter of fact, it'd probably be best you go in the other room so you don't be tempted. Now, we can share the same house, but we ain't going to share the same bed. Now, see, I'm serious about this. So, see, listen, because and I'm telling you, just like Jesus' birth couldn't be contaminated, the promises of God cannot be contaminated. God don't need your assistance. He got it. If he gave birth to it, he will bring it to pass.
Hallelujah.
But instead, you still think you need your assistance. I still didn't read all the scripture I wanted to read now. Watch this. Can I read this? Can I read? Okay, he says, therefore, if any man be in Christ, is a new creation. All things has passed away. Behold, all things are new. Y'all really need to meditate on that. You really do. I'm talking about saints. Some stuff I can't do for you. All I can do is point you in that direction. You really need to meditate on all things that become new. Is you listening? Now watch this now. And all things are of God. You understand why he's saying don't live under yourself? Live under me. Why? From that, the moment you got saved, everything that is to affect your life gonna come from God. If it's a husband, just trying to tell you everything that affects your life, God says, I got it. Just live unto me. I know what you need. I know what you want. I'm only asking you, let me provide.
Jesus.
Thank you, Lord.
If every believer just knew this, it'll get some of this chaos out of our minds, out of our homes. We keep thinking, I need to ask God, but let me tell you something, even when it gets to your healing. Why do you keep asking God to do something He done already done?
Thank you, Lord.
Now that right there, I can spend from now to eternity talking about that. But if God done already healed me, Brother Gary, then watch what you say. Why you still what? Who you living unto? Is you living under Him, or are you living unto yourself? See, when you're living under Him, and if He says, with my stripes you are healed, what do you say in regards to that? Thank you, Lord.
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 If you're living under Him, He says, listen, I got you a home. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
I got you a home. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Live under me. Whatever you need, I got it. Thank you, Lord. Now you understand when Paul said, I don't care what you're in, just give Him thanks. In all things. Why? Because if you live under Him, now I want to show y'all something. I really want to show you this. I want to show you something. Watch this. He says, and all things are of God, who have reconciled us to who? Now watch this now. The God who said, let there be light, is still saying, if you live under me, everything that pertains to you is finished.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Hey.
Now I know that don't mean nothing, y'all. Reconcile means to be fixed and to be fitted. Let me give you an idea, because I ain't gonna be able to get across all this to y'all, but some just give you an idea, because we're gonna have to take off on this one. To be fitted. You know, when a woman get ready to get married, what's she gonna do? She got to go be fitted first, right? Get this dress pad. Why? I got a man waiting on me. We done set this day aside. Watch this, honey. Now, in your mind, I'm gonna tell you something. In their mind, as far as the man, that man and that woman, in their mind, they already married. They just going through the motion. I'm just telling you now. All we doing is going to do this so we can get this piece of paper.
Yeah.
And the moment that guy said, will you marry me? She said, yeah. That's it. Now let's just go through the motion. Because why? You done already said what? Yeah. You don't ask nobody to marry you walking down the aisle. Say, hey, I want you to come put on this dress, and then we're going to go to the church. I just want to see what it look like. And then while she walking down, oh, I forgot to ask you, will you marry me? Is you crazy? I ain't ready to get married. Hold up, now I'm going to put you in this dress. Well, you should have asked me before you gave me the dress. Well, I thought if I gave you the dress, you thought what? You ain't got to be thinking for me. You listening? So when God said, be reconciled to me, and you said, okay, Lord, He said, now let me fix you. Let me prepare you for what I done fixed for you.
Amen.
How many of y'all ever went to a red reception? Was the reception ready before the marriage? Yes, it was.
Yeah, well.
You do prepare the reception before they marry, right? You ain't making no reception after I get married, because you know what? It ain't gonna be ready. It ain't gonna be ready. So the reception room is ready. Everything is ready. All I need to do is to be prepared for it. I'm going to my wedding reception. It's already ready. If you think God is gonna get you ready before He make what He got for you ready, you thinking wrong. The reason He getting you ready, because what He got for you is already ready. That's why He told you, walk in the newness of life. What you mean, Lord? Everything I got for you is all ready.
Hallelujah. Glory.
Amen.
Glory.
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 ready. Let me tell y'all something. If you think the only reason God, we waiting on Jesus because he ain't finished, you know he's going to prepare a place for you. You don't think it's ready. And don't get, you don't think it's ready. Well, you may ask, well, what is it waiting on? He's fixing you. He's fixing you. Why? All things are ready. Let me tell you what's going to happen when we realize that we've been reconciled to him. The Bible says in Revelation, the 20th chapter, that the bride and the Spirit says, come Lord Jesus. That's the only way where the bride, where the groom comes in and the bride got to wait. Oh, y'all missed it. See, down here, the groom has to wait for the bride to walk in. In God's mindset, the bride got to wait for the groom to walk in. Why? Because all things are ready. All we waiting on is for the groom to show up. That's all we waiting on. We waiting for the groom to show up. Everything has been fixed. Everything is ready. But we don't act like we are people who didn't receive all things. I'm going to have to deal with Colossians, the 1st and 2nd chapter next week because it's so much into this and that y'all, oh man, Lord, sometimes y'all almost want Jesus to come right now. So I will have to finish this up and so y'all can experience it. But I'm telling you, when he says, be reconciled to God. Why? Everything is ready. Be reconciled to God while all things consist are held together by him. You know why we struggle now? We try to hold, child, I'm doing everything I can to hold this family together. That's why it's falling apart. Oh my God. Because you trying to hold it together. The Bible says all things consist in him. In other words, he holds all things together. Amen. The problem is, now watch this. He's just trying to teach you to be together. And you don't even realize it. You don't even know. That's the one who's holding you together. That's the only reason why you ain't lost your mind trying to hold everything together. Because he's holding you together. Mr. Wells said, I got you together, didn't I? Listen, when you got saved, guess what Jesus said? I got them together, Father. He said, I got them together. You know what God is telling them? He said, I need you to hold them together. He said, I got them. So he sent somebody like me and said, hey, they got the person next to you. He said, you together, child. You together. Say, you got yourself together. But you didn't do it. So you can't get no credit for you being together. You didn't do it. When we get over to Colossians, let me tell y'all something. When Paul says, God reconcile you to fullness. You know what full means? Ain't nothing else you can add on to it. What you think need to be added? And you know what? I know some things need to be changed. I know I need to change. No, you don't. You just need to get a better look at him. Quit trying to change what you think needs to be changed in your life. You got to look at him. Why? He's the one who's holding you together. You think because you're looking at that little old corner mirror that you look in, my hair needs, let your hair go like it is. That's okay. You know, all the stuff needs to be fixed. Let me tell you something. That's the natural stuff. That's the natural stuff. Just because you put that stuff together don't mean that's what got you together. You need to see yourself in this mirror. In this mirror. In this mirror. And the Bible says when you get a look in this mirror, it says don't forget what you look like. Too many of us have forgot what we look like since he put us together. It ain't about not being together. You don't forgot what you look like since he put you together. Go back here and find out what you look like. Don't let no natural mirror tell you. Paul says we don't know no man after the flesh no more. Quit trying to look at your natural circumstances and let that determine whether or not you together or not. When you look at yourself, you're going to see all kind of flaws and everything. You know, even when you look at your natural face, women think sometimes, let me put a little makeup here, let me put a little bit here, let me put a little bit here. You know, and you eliminate, watch yourself, the blemishes and the stuff that makes your skin look uneven. You know, what I'm trying to say. Come on, ladies. Huh? You put a foundation on to kind of bring your texture, your skin tone. Am I right? I'm going to right? And so you see that. Well, listen. You think God don't know what you look like spiritually? He the one provided the makeup. All professional people have makeup people. What you call them? Makeup artists. Do you think God wants you trying to make yourself up? He's trying to give you the Holy Spirit. He's going to bring you to this mirror. And he's going to eliminate all blemishes. Now, I got scripture for what I'm telling you. He said he's going to eliminate all faults, all the things that people think is your weakness. He said he's going to eliminate all of that. Ain't nobody going to be able to see no faults. They ain't going to be able to accuse you of nothing. I'm going to eliminate all of that. Right now, the church right now made on their blemishes. You know, on Mother's Day, you know, we was asking some of the women, you know, to come, you know. That's why my wife said, listen, I want y'all to dress up so you can take pictures. Now, some of them didn't get the message, and so some of them didn't think that they, you know, was presentable enough to take no picture. Well, why? Well, the camera gonna lie? Oh, the reason you don't want it, you don't want to take no picture because there's something you don't want nobody to see. Wow. Right? Come on now. And that's why you don't want to take a picture. Because it's something you don't want nobody to see. Because now I believe Zeb can make that camera say a lot of things.
Yes, I can.
I'm telling you, he can listen, he can tone the text out, he can have your text, I'm talking about your face looking smooth as a baby. I'm talking about if you're concerned about certain skin, he can make that camera say that. I'm going to show you how God is. He ain't going to make the camera say it, because you going to be it. He going to eliminate the blemishes. So when people see you, they don't see your blemishes, they don't see your faults, they don't see anything that make you ashamed. When God presents you, they're going to see nothing but what you look like in Him. That's all they're going to see. Amen. So quit trying to do stuff that you think you need to do that makes, you ashamed of. You know what, next year, I'm going to have, what they call it, this New Year resolution. We done made probably 100 resolutions. If it ain't at the beginning of the year, child, I'm going on a diet. Then you punish your poor body, just punish it. Because you don't like your weight. There's something about yourself you don't like, and God says, I made you perfectly. What it is about you don't like. Well, Lord, they who? What they saying? You ain't worried about you concerned about what I'm saying. You let what they say, you let what they tell you to look like. That one thing I learned about, her name was Monique, I think it was her name. She said, big is in now. Yeah. You know what Monique said, big is in. I said, y'all little skinny chicks right there talking about. He said, you can't hardly eat, you're starving yourself. She said, big is in now. Let me tell y'all who I am thinking you're overweight. Big is in now. Oh man, you missed it. I'm telling you, big is in now. Honey, why you got to go and come in with that? Listen, don't be intimidated by your flaws and what people might say. You so mean. See, but yeah, y'all know what y'all tell them. But my Lord loved it. Say, He loved me just like this. A man tried to say something that's irreverent to my wife, that try to make her feel shame. She said, but my husband love it. That's how you shut that cat. Said, but my husband love it. I'm talking about you ladies who men don't know how to respect. Said, my husband love every ounce of it. Every toenail, everything. See, that's how you shut him up. Just get it just today. Watch and see what happens. You go right back in that old doghouse he came out. Said, my husband loves this, every inch of it. All of it. And right now you wishing you could have it, but he got it. Listen, that's how you have to talk to the devil. Say, man, God love all this. He love all of it. And you wish you had it, but you can't get it. Because he already got claims on it. Don't sit there and let the devil make you feel ashamed and guilty. I tell people this all the time. You know, people hear you might say something out of character. I thought you were saved. Child, you just don't know how saved I am. Don't let people make you feel bad because you might have acted out of character. Your character didn't get saved when you got saved. God saved you. Eventually, let me tell you something. Eventually, if you keep your eyes on him, your character will begin to reflect him and not you. Right. Quit trying to get your character to reflect other people make them. Oh, man. That's why I don't like people trying to be like somebody else. You don't need to be like them. That's why God gave you your own fingerprint. I got to stop, y'all. So y'all got me all excited, man. Because God wants to see y'all. Listen, he got rid of all of your blemishes. I'm telling you, I got scripture for it. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to let you see it with your own eyes next Sunday. He got rid of all of your faults. He got rid of all of your blemishes. Let me tell you something. The devil can't accuse you of nothing. If we can ever get rid of that spirit of accusing, if we can ever listen to the Lord and say, neither do I condemn you. Wow. Under the Old Testament, you know what he had to tell that woman who they accused? You remember what Jesus said? He said, where are your accusers? What did he do? He got rid of the accusers, didn't he? She said, I have none, Lord. Now watch what he says. And neither do I condemn you. But watch what he said afterwards. He said, go and sin no more. He never tell you to go and sin no more. Why? Because you're already forgiven. You ain't got to worry about what sin can do. Sin cannot accuse you no longer. You cannot be accused by sin. Boy, listen, that's the part I want to get to because I'm about to talk about that. You've been forgiven for eternity. No one never have to tell you to go get forgiveness. You are forgiven eternally. So don't let the devil make you feel like because you messed up yesterday or a few minutes ago, you might have entertained a bad thought about me. You might be thinking right now, I was pastor cut off. It's okay. It's okay. Ain't nothing the devil can accuse you of. When God reconciled you to him, he didn't have to do it. And then he turned around and said, Jesus, now I got them together. He said, Lord, I'll keep them together. Come on, stand to your feet. Look at y'all together, people. Y'all showing up together, man.